Hello, this is DDSMC9, and this video is what if Naruto remembered his past lives, the journey of souls by ferduran. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Hello, this is my Naruto FIC, even if I'm a big fan of the series. I got the idea after I saw the anime Seiken Sekai no World Break that is about how some people there can remember and get the skill and powers of their past lives, and the main character can remember more than one. One is a warrior and another one is magician, and I thought what if Naruto could remember his past lives, the ones as Azura and Hashirama. I recommend you see that anime if you want to understand this plotline better. I plan to use different element from the usual fix. I also plan to use Itachi in an original way that has not been used yet. About the pairing, it will be a Naruto/Hinata/Hanabi. My reason is because Hinata is my favorite and Hanabi was no included in many fics, and I believe that there are many fics that can be used with them. I do not own Naruto, and I do this just for fun. Konoha, in an apartment. There was a young blonde boy who was wondering why his life was the way it was. How he was ignored and shunned by the villagers. When they thought he couldn't hear, they would say harsh and demeaning words. He thought the question a million times, what did I do that would be so horrible that they would treat him like this? His life was very lonely so far, and deep down he hoped one day that everything would change for the better. We find the blonde boy sleeping alone in his dirty room, his bed made from rags. However, he wasn't sleeping peacefully. He started having vivid dreams of battles and a life not his own. Who would ever think that one boy's dream would start a journey that would shake the world? The young blonde boy named Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto Uzumaki was a young blonde boy with fair skin and blue eyes. His outfit consisting of a black shirt with red spiral design and brown shirts with blue sandals was long since worn out. He had 3 marks resembling whisker marks on each cheek. He was rather short for his age, being 3 inches shorter than he should be, and didn't eat healthy, his diet consisting of mainly ramen. Naruto's room. Inside his dream. This is strange, thought Naruto, as he was talking with an old man with gray skin and 3 eyes. Despite this, he felt safe with the old man. Now to others that might seem normal, except that he had never seen this man before. When Naruto looked into the decorative mirror that was placed on the wall, he was shocked. The person staring back was not himself, at least not his current self. The person in the mirror was a brown-haired tall man wearing a white yukata. Now this couldn't be possible since Naruto wasn't older than 6 years old. Yet somehow the man in the mirror and the old man was talking about something that seemed important, but his younger naive mind did not understand. He was able to pick up on only a few words said. It boiled down to the topic about succession. Then in a flash, everything changed. Now he was facing someone that had the same hair color of the person in the mirror from before. However, now things were more intense, and there was more hate in his eyes than he could imagine. He was inside some giant made of purple flames with swords. His own body, taking the form of the man he saw in the mirror, was standing on the head of a giant wood statue that somehow could move, and from what he could see they were preparing to fight. That thought was confirmed when they charged at each other. Nisan, Azura, Naruto screamed, just having woken up form what looked like a nightmare. He took deep breaths to calm himself as he checked himself over to see if this was really his own body and not the adult from his dreams. It all felt so real. Oh, not again, thought the young boy. These dreams had been happening more often for the last 2 weeks, ever since that day. Flashback. We see Naruto who was walking to the forest with his head down. Once again, he had asked some kids if he could play with them. Once again, they had rejected him with the same excuse that they always use and ignore him. 2 years ago, when he first enrolled at the academy, he was hoping that he could make some friends so he wouldn't feel so lonely. Sadly, that didn't happen, and the same treatment that he got by the rest of the village also followed him into the classroom. He was also ignored by the others. Even after class was over, the few classmates that talked to him have to leave with their parent when they came to pick them up. He was just walking further inside the forest when the view of an old temple attracted his attention. When he got closer, he could see the temple was rather dilapidated. He also noticed it had the same symbol that was on the shirt that the old Hokage had given him some time ago. Feeling great curiosity, Naruto went inside the temple, and like any kid his age, he believed that he had found a secret playground just for him. Going further inside the temple, he found a room that had many different masks on the walls. Like any kid his age, he just picked up one of the masks and used it while he began to run inside the rooms, pretending that he was a masked ninja, until he tripped over a piece of wood and fell face first, breaking the mask, ending his little game. Holding his tears from the blow, Naruto decided that it was time to return home. That night Naruto had the first of the dreams where he saw people that seemed familiar, but that he had never seen before. What all the dreams had in common is that each time he saw all the events from the point of view of someone else. Yet when he saw a reflection, he saw a face that was not his, and each night it was someone else. Sometimes it was the guy with the brown hair, while others was a black-haired man with red armor, and each time he saw different parts of their life. Their moments of sadness and happiness, their problems and their battles, but more important their beliefs, fighting styles, and jutsu. As much as these dreams distressed the poor young boy, he knew there was nothing he could do. He decided to try to sleep again, hoping that those strange dreams will stop. End flashback. It has been a couple weeks since those dreams began. Beside the dreams being entertaining, Naruto didn't know what to think about them. It was that very morning that his life began to change as he got ready to go to the practice ground. Today was a weekend day and he didn't need to go to the academy, though he still will use all his free time practicing because he wanted to prove to all the kids in the academy that he isn't a dead last as they made fun of him. More importantly than that, he had to prove it to himself, and because he never got any real help from the teachers. He also didn't have anyone that he could ask for help. He has to work so much harder just to be close to the level of the other kids, who had either the support of their families or are really taught by the teachers. So today, he will be practicing the chakra control exercise that he saw in the academy. But when he arrives at the training ground, he saw how 2 people, a genin and a younger boy that looked just like him, who was probably his brother, were already there. And the training that they were doing looked more interesting than the stupid leaf exercise. He saw how the genin began to climb on one tree, but he didn't use his hands. More importantly, he was walking just like it was the park walkway. He overheard as the genin then began to talk to his younger brother about how he should control his chakra and all that boring stuff that was explained in the academy. After hearing the explanation, Naruto left the place and went somewhere else to try to do just what that genin just did. So, after he found a secluded place, he looked at the tree in front of him. Come on, I can do this. I will be the greatest ninja in history, so this should be a piece of cake. He said this as he ran towards the tree, and when his foot made contact in the first step and began to rise, he believed that he had done it. However, that idea died a second later when he reached the second step and fell to the ground. It hurts, exclaimed Naruto as he stands up after he recovered from the hit. He got some distance by running away from the tree, then once again tried to climb the tree and again he failed. After a couple hours of this, he decided that for today he was done, that he will try again tomorrow. That very night, he also has a dream about lessons that he received when he was the kid with brown hair or the black-haired one, and sometimes lessons that he provides to others. But this night he dreamed about how that rare old man with gray skin and that strange third eye. Indra, Azura, from this moment I will teach you how to awaken your chakra so you can begin your own path in the art of ninju. What is ninju, Oto-san? Asked the boy from the point of view of Naruto. It is my personal philosophy that this power must be used to help others, bring unity and to protect the weak, and never to seek conflict. That is my ninju. Okay, Dad, we will show you that we will be the best ninja users in the world. And soon the lessons began. And Naruto kept dreaming about those lessons. But this time he wasn't the only one that was looking at those dreams. It can't be possible. Kurama said from within his cage, the last few days he had been feeling something that he couldn't understand, but for some reason feel familiar. So, he had begun to use what little chakra he could use while still being a prisoner, trying to get whatever information he can. It was in that moment he managed to get in contact with that feeling that he saw the face that he believed he would never see again. Father, Kurama exclaimed as he was trying to find an explanation for what he is seeing. There is no mistake that is my father, but how does this brat know about him? Half his image was lost centuries ago, so no stupid humans should know how he looks. But there was no mistake. He was looking at his father, and he knew because he remembers those memories. However, from his father's point of view, because he allowed him and his siblings to see and feel what he felt from the outside world. Wait a minute, point of view. That is, everything that he has seen come from the point of view of that Azura boy. After that, it was easy to Kurama to understand what is happening. So, this boy is the reincarnation of Azura. Well, that is interesting, and it could be worse than him. He could be the reincarnation of that insolent brat Indra. I guess that this makes us family somehow. For the moment, it would be for the best that I wait and see what will happen. A few days later. Okay, now let's get started, exclaimed the blonde hero as he sees a big tree in front of him. He now knew the instructions to accomplish this exercise that he had seen other kids practice. With great determination, he put one foot on the tree and slowly began to walk up the tree. For some reason, this feels natural, thought Naruto as he was halfway to the top. That's when a new set of images of a gray-skinned man with a third eye in the front teaching two boys broke his concentration and made him fall. However, with the new set of images came the instinct to kick the tree to make distance from the tree and turn his body 180 degrees and land on his feet. What is happening to me? Naruto said as he put his hands over his eyes. While he was happy that he was getting stronger, he was also afraid, because he didn't know what was happening to him. However, he knew one thing. This was his only chance to become strong. To get out of his situation, he had to keep training, and so he stood up and kept training. Time skip academy classroom. Hinata POV. For the next few weeks, the friendship between Naruto and Hinata increased in closeness. Thanks to the assistance of teachers, no one wanted to get close to them. That was something that didn't bother them as they were used to be marginalized even by the people around them. It happened in the second month of the current school year after the beginning of the class, and Naruto and Hinata had began to spend all their free time together. Ever since Naruto saved her from those bullies all those years ago, she had always felt bad about how her guardian took her away before she could thank him for his help. Or even check to see if he was fine after the beating that he got from those bullies. That is why when she saw him in the academy entry ceremony and learned that they will be in the same class, she was very happy. She believes that she will have the chance to thank him this time, but her shyness made that impossible for her. Things became more complicated when she saw how her classmates and teachers treat him. This bad memory is a journey of souls by ferduran. However, unlike her, Naruto never allowed himself to give up and pity himself. He always stands back up when people tell him he should stay down. No matter how many times he fails, he always gets back up and keep trying. Ever since she started following him, hoping to find the source of his strength. This was because she was rather shy, much too shy to ask him directly, so this was what she had to do for now. What she saw impressed her, as she saw Naruto keep training even after class. Always trying to succeed where he had failed, that is how her following Naruto became a habit in the last year. She noticed that as his skills begun to grow, so did her admiration for Naruto. Today was no different. He had been practicing the tree climbing chakra exercise again like the last few days. This is something that she knew because it was part of the Hyuga clan training. In her clan, they were taught chakra control exercises and other techniques from the moment they could walk. So she knew how hard it could be, even more so if he didn't have any help. However, seeing how Naruto managed to improve by his own effort was something amazing to her. Oh, how I wish that I could be like you, Naruto-kun. It was in that moment when she saw him lose his footing and began to fall, but he instead of falling to the ground clumsily, he turned his body 180 degrees midair and landed on his feet. Amazing was all that she could say. When Naruto left, she decided to leave as well. When she arrived home that night, her father called her useless. He told her guardian, whose name is Kurenai, that she could do what she wants with Hinata, that she was too weak to be a clan heiress. That night she cried alone. She wanted to go to her mother, but since her mother was extremely sick, she didn't want to cause her any more trouble. The next day, she didn't go to the academy and instead, she went to Naruto's hidden training spot. The place that Naruto goes and sat under the same tree that he had used to practice the last day. The words of her father and every bad experience that she has been repeated over and over in her head. She didn't know how long she had been there or how long had been since the rain began. She just wanted to disappear. She felt like her life was a pitch black hell, and just as she felt the darkness consuming her, at that moment a ray of light and hope arrived. Hey, you're that girl that sits behind me. Hinata, right? A familiar voice asked, one that she knew too well. When her face rose, she saw Naruto right in front of her. He was drenched from the rain. However, she could see that he was looking her over in concern. Are you okay? You didn't come to the academy today. Naruto asked, his voice carrying his emotions. I didn't know what to do. I am sorry for taking your training place, Hinata said. Forget about that. Why you were crying? Naruto asked, more concerned with why she was crying than her taking up his training ground. I want to disappear. Maybe if I did that then my family would be happier. Hinata confessed to Naruto. Naruto looked at her with a serious expression. Then he sat next to her, even though it was raining. For a moment he didn't say anything, he just sat next to her. Can you tell me what happened? Naruto finally asks. His question surprises Hinata, because no one besides her mother had ever shown any interest in her. Now the boy she admires since he rescued her that day from those 3 bullies was concerned for her, and even wanted to know about her troubles. So, she began to tell her about the problems that has arisen, from her mother being sick to how the clan treated her. She even told him about how earlier, her father told her that she was useless. She told him everything that had been building up. After he had just heard her story, he said something that surprised her. Then why don't you just show them that they're wrong about you? I know how it feels when the people around you are mean to you and just want you to disappear. You can hope that things will change, but it won't unless you make them change. That is why I train, to change my worth. If the people around you didn't like that, then don't pay them any attention. Become the person that you want to be. At least that is the way I see things and am striving for myself. Naruto said, looking at her with determination filling his eyes. For Hinata, hearing Naruto's words was inspiring and beautiful. The fact that it was Naruto who said it made them all the more special. I think we should find a drier place to continue our conversation. It seems like the storm is getting stronger. Naruto suggested as he stood up and offered his hand to help her stand up, which Hinata accepted, but she slipped making Naruto fall with her, and in the process their lips met, giving each other their first kiss by accident. They remained like that for a few seconds in shock before reacting. I am sorry. I didn't mean to do that, Naruto said, worrying she would hate him now. Honestly, the way he was treated, it wasn't far-fetched. It is okay. It was my fault in the first place, Hinata said, trying her hardest not to faint as she placed her fingers to her lips. Naruto decided to take her to the old masked temple, where they waited for the rain to stop. While they waited, they kept talking about everything. For Naruto, this is the first time he has spoken to anyone about the dreams that he had at night and the situation with his life. For Hinata, it was the first time she told anyone else about her lift in the Hyuga clan, along with her parents. Having a person to tell your problems and understand what you felt began to make big differences in their lives, and soon they started to train together. That day the two became friends and agreed to train together every day that they had free time, something the other students and the teachers saw. They even tried telling Hinata that she must stay away from that boy, something that she refuses to do. After that they started ignoring her. When Naruto asked her if she was fine with that, she only said, they never cared for me or were my friends before. So why should I abandon my only true friend to please some strangers? It was during this time, training together, that Naruto's dreams proved to help tremendously when he saw an adult version of the men with white yukata and red armor teaching people. Breathe, Hinata-chan, just breathe. Allow your breathing be the same as the trees that are around us. Feel the beating of your heart and how it synchronizes with the nature around us. Can you feel it? Naruto instructed as he repeated the same words that he heard those men said in his dreams. Yes, I can feel it, said Hinata. She had been happy when she trained with Naruto. It was the first time she's been truly happy since her mother had gotten sick. She didn't know how to explain it. For some reason, everything that Naruto taught her felt right and was easier to understand than all the lessons her father had given her before he had dismissed her training. It was like she felt complete after she met him, and the feeling that she was having in that moment was so warm that for a few moments she fell asleep. She had a dream about a very strong woman that wears a beautiful white kimono and has beautiful long red hair. She saw that she never gives up, how she was kind with her loved ones and terrible with her enemies, but more than anything how she fought side by side with her husband, a man in red armor that for some reason reminded her of Naruto. They were fighting against a giant fox with many tails. "Hinata-chan, wake up," Naruto said, as he gently shakes her shoulder. "Wake her up." "Sorry, I fell asleep, Naruto-kun," Hinata replied, ashamed that she fell asleep in the presence of her friend. When he was trying to help her, something her father stopped trying long time ago. "Don't worry about it, it happened to me a lot with Irika-sensei's boring classes. I guess I am no better than him, besides it is getting late and you should return to your home soon," Naruto said, glad she was awake. So the two of them began to walk until the border of the training ground, and even though they were friends, Naruto knew the adults didn't like him. If they saw them together, they would be rude to Hinata as well. For that reason, Naruto would always stop before the entrance so he can leave in the other direction so the villagers wouldn't see them together. Even though Hinata said that she didn't mind, he didn't want to cause problems for his only friend. "Well, I guess that it is everything for today, but we can train here again tomorrow after class if you want," asked Naruto to his friend. "I would like that," Hinata replied as she began to walk toward her home. "Wait, before you go, I just happened to find this flower, and I want to give it to you. That is if you like," said Naruto as he shows her a beautiful dark blue orchid. Naruto had heard from some of the girls in the academy that girls like when boys give them flowers as a present. So he wanted to give her something that she will like, even if he didn't understand what made the flower special. He knew that Hinata is having a bad time at home with her mother being very sick, so he wanted to do something for her. Hinata for her part was very surprised, because she has never suspected that her best friend would give her this beautiful flower. So she accepted the flower and treasured the beautiful orchid. "Thank you, Naruto-kun, it is beautiful," Hinata said as she thanked her friend, one more time as she began to walk towards her home. While Naruto, who now has a big smile on his face, he was happy that Hinata liked the orchid. He considered that he should spend more time studying plants and flowers so he could find the meaning to the flowers and make his friend happy. "Look what we have here," a voice exclaimed behind them when they turned to see who it was. They recognized the three as the bullies Naruto had saved Hinata from when they had met. However, unlike last time when they were all just kids, this time those three were wearing Konoha's headband. They were genin. "I see that the freaks like to be together," said another of the bullies. "What do you want?" Naruto asked the three. "Nothing, we were just taking a walk and saw you two and said, why we don't go and teach those losers a lesson, just like before," the leader said as he smugly smirked. "Why? We didn't do anything to you," Naruto demanded. "And who cares about that? It's just because you exist. That is enough reason," the leader answered, as the three of them surrounded Naruto and Hinata. Seeing that the situation wasn't a good one, Naruto looked at Hinata. He turned to her and said, "Hinata-chan, I will try to hold them down. Use that chance to escape." "But what about you?" Hinata asks, concerned over her only friend. "I will be fine. You just escape when I give you the signal," Naruto answers. He didn't want her to get hurt. He didn't care if they hurt him as long as she was okay. "I know," said Hinata as she looks at Naruto with a serious look. "I was forced to leave you behind when you saved me last time because my guardian refuses to help you. I always regretted that, and I refuse to abandon you again." Hinata finishes a fierce look on her face. Naruto was surprised by Hinata's words. No one has ever said anything like that to him before. It was in that moment he recognized what she was talking about. "So, you were that girl," he said, surprised that he had indeed met her again. "If you losers are done talking, it is time for the fun," said the leader as he ran towards Naruto and hit him in the face. Naruto fell on the ground hard as he tried to stand up. But the difference between him and a genin was too big. "Naruto-kun," exclaimed Hinata as she runs towards Naruto to help him. It is in that moment that one of the bullies hit her from behind and made her fall as well. "Hinata." Naruto hurries to stand up to help her only to be hit again and fell next to Hinata. "For a moment I believed that you would give us more fun than this, but in the end, you are only a couple of losers," said the leader as he kicks Naruto in the stomach, knocking the wind out of him. "Leave him alone," said Hinata as she tries to help Naruto only to receive a kick in the face and fell once again with tears coming from her eyes. "Stay down, you wide-eyed freak." But then something happened when Naruto saw Hinata getting hurt. A feeling of a fire that was born deep inside his soul. It was in that moment that some of those images appeared once again in his mind. Naruto's mind. Again, it was the man with red armor, and he was looking at how three genins were fighting 2 versus 1. It wasn't long before the boy that was fighting alone was hit and fell to the ground. "Again," said the man in red armor with a big smile. "But Hashirama-sensei, this is not fair. It is 2 versus 1. Weren't you the one that said that you could defeat an army alone, Hiruzen?" asked the girl of the group. "That is true," said a boy that was using glasses. "Hiruzen, you need to understand that real fights are never fair. You can't expect that your enemies will want to face you in a 1 versus 1 battle. They will want to have the advantage in the same way that you need to always look to have the advantage in a fight. That is why we train to fight in the circumstances." "But how can I win when I am facing multiple enemies?" asked the boy named Hiruzen. "You turn the fight from 1 versus many to a 1 versus 1 by making sure that each time you hit the enemy that he stays down and never allow them to use their numbers to surround you," explained Hashirama, the man in red armor. "But how can I do that?" asked Hiruzen. "I will teach you how, and believe it or not, the key is to have a good footwork," Hashirama said, smiling at his young pupil. Back to the present. All those memories that felt like hours were no more than a couple of seconds in the real world. But this time, Naruto has a look in his eyes that shows that something was different. "I remember," Naruto said as he stands up in a jump and put himself in an angle where 2 of the bullies were in a line. "So, you want more?" said the leader as he got ready to kick Naruto again, but this time it was different. Because this time he saw how that bully raised his pants a little in the right leg, somehow knowing that he will be using that leg to kick him in the next second. So he anticipates that move, and using his left foot he blocks that attack, and in a bike move using the energy of the move he kicked the bully right between the legs. "UGHH," the bully groaned as he was about to fall on his knees only to meet Naruto's elbow in the face. With that final attack, he was out of combat. Naruto took advantage of the surprise and moved towards the boy that was behind the leader. The bully was surprised, but when he saw how the boy that they were bullying was getting closer, he regained his nerve. So he tried to punch him in the face, but the blonde boy used his right hand to redirect that punch to the other side, leaving him open to an attack. An opportunity that Naruto took and with his left hand punched him in the solar plexus, driving the air from him. Now there was only one bully left, but that bully was the one that had hurt Hinata, and he will pay for that. The last bully, seeing he was the last one standing, tried to escape. However, Naruto picked up a rock and he launched it, and the rock hit the last bully in the leg, making him fall. He tried to stand up, but this time he could feel Naruto's foot on his back making pressure. "You like to hit girls on the faces, don't you?" asked Naruto as he moves in front of him. "But when you face someone in a one-on-one fight you run like a coward. Maybe what you need to know what it feels like, so you never do the same again," Naruto said, and then he kicked him in the face which broke his nose. "We'll tell everybody about this," said the leader as he was beginning to recover. "That 3 new genin lost against a second-year academy student, and that you also attacked the Hyuga clan head's daughter? Please be my guest, now if you do not have anything else to do. Remember this and leave us alone because the next time, I will get serious," Naruto said, glaring at the down bullies. The 3 bullies saw that they couldn't win this and chose to leave as Naruto walked towards where Hinata was on the ground, where she saw everything. "Hinata-chan," said Naruto as he kneels in front of her and rises his hand and touched the part of her lip that was cut and was bleeding from the kick that she received. But when the moment he touched her, green chakra came from his hand, healing her in the moment. "I am sorry. This always happened to me when the villagers blame me for anything. I am used to this, but I do not want you to get hurt because of me. I believe that it would be for the best if I stay away from you. Naruto said, and inside he felt like he was dying. He didn't want to lose his only friend, but he knew it was for the best. After all, if he remained around her, she would get hurt and it would be his fault. He definitely did not want that. And with that, Naruto stood up and turned around to leave that place, trying to hold back his tears about how he would have to leave his only friend in order to protect her. But then she holds his hand. Please don't leave, Hinata pleads. But if we remain friends, things like this may happen again, and I do not want to see you get hurt because of me, Naruto rebuts. I don't care. You are my only friend, and I do not want to lose you. I know that I am weak, but I promise that I will become stronger, so you do not have to worry about me. Just please do not leave me, begged Hinata with tears in her eyes. For some reason, the seeing Hinata's tears was something that he couldn't take and had to do something about that. Are you sure that you will not regret this? He asked, trying to give her an out. Part of him wishing she would leave, but another part of him wanted her to remain. Never, I told you before, I will never abandon you, Hinata answers firmly. At those words, Naruto smiles because he knew that Hinata was a true friend, a friend that he will treasure always. Okay, we better keep going or you will worry your mom, Naruto said. By the way, when did you learn medic ninjutsu? Hinata asked curiously. About that, I don't know how to explain it. Do you remember the dreams that I told you about? And with that, the two of them leave the training area. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and this story is The Journey of Souls by Ferduran.